Back to Clippers Live postgame. Clippers over the Knicks 126-118. Darius Garland getting a little shove from Josh Hart, and then some quality time with a couple of young fans.
Sure, you could sit at home and enjoy the game, but you don't get this unless you come to the game.
No.
What a cool moment for those girls.
And if you sit courtside, you hope for some interaction with the players, and those two young ladies got more than they could have bargained. But look at the looks on their faces. It tells you everything right there.
Yep. Good job, Dad. What a great moment.
Lots of smiles tonight here at Intuit Dome. Clippers get really one of their most satisfying wins of the season for a lot of different reasons. They get back to 500 in a tie for the 8th spot in the West, and they own the tiebreak over the Warriors right now. So really a big night here. And Darius Garland makes his second start for the Clippers this season. And
how did he do?
He did pretty well. He ignites the offense. He could create for himself and for others as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're settling into what it is that Darius Garland and the promise of what he was going to do for them positionally in the last 2 games in a significant way. Awesome tonight. Big in the fourth quarter. Spreading the floor. Getting in the lane. 7 assists for the night to just 2 turnovers. And just a guy that down the stretch you can put the ball in his hands.
Yes.
And you can have somebody manage a possession. That's such a huge thing. To not have Kawhi Leonard have to deal with that, but for Darius and the guy who can knock down threes, just massive. I do want to point out one thing tonight, Stan, also in the turnover battle. The Clips are playing against, we talked about an elite defense in the Knicks.
Yep.
Just 8 turnovers tonight. They only gave up 10 points off of turnovers tonight and caused havoc for the other team.
They had 20.
Yeah, the Knicks had 20 and 24 points off the turnovers.
Yes.
So some relief both ways. Relief because you scored, you were able to get out in transition, but a lot of relief that you can take care of the ball and you can manage possessions like we talked about. DG is going to be a big reason why.
We were talking about this during the game. When was the last time Kawhi Leonard had an off night?
I don't know.
I can't remember one.
I can't recall. And I think the thing that we have to get used to now, which is it's taken a while, but we can get used to it now, is that the bigger the moment, the bigger the game.
Yes.
Because what Kawhi is doing against the likes of the San Antonio Spurs, what he's doing against the Denver Nuggets, what he's doing against the Knicks coming into town is just be better than he usually is, which is all-star level. So these MVP type of performances against top 4 defenses have been absolutely remarkable. The streak continues tonight, the 42nd game, longest of his career, scoring 20 points. He's a little behind Shai Gilgeous, who just tied Will Chamberlain, but he has been phenomenal.
I heard a few MVP chants when you went to the foul line. I think people are catching on now. The Kawhi Leonard MVP conversation.
I think this starts to get so much more momentum because of the team's success at this point. Whatever this watershed mark is, whatever getting to 32 and 32 means, it's significant in terms of the national attention of what the coaching staff has done, what this team has done, and how they've done it. And Kawhi obviously has been the biggest reason why the Clippers are now sitting there in the 8th spot in the Western Conference.
I mean, 29 points, 10 of 19 from the floor. He had 7 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, just another all-around great game.
Remarkable. And again, there was no point in this fourth quarter where it felt like this is the control he has in the game, where he felt like he needed to make his imprint and do something spectacular in the fourth quarter. It was letting other guys get shots. It was letting Darius Garland create, knocking down a few shots himself and making the assist to Derrick Jones Jr. for 3. It's just so much control in what it is that Kawhi is able to do, and it's been awesome to watch.
2-time finals MVP, so there's no big moment that he hasn't experienced, that he hasn't delivered. And then Ben Mathurin started out sort of a rocky night, had some bad shots, but boy, he was big when it counted late in the game.
Yeah, forced some things early on and then sort of found his rhythm. Knocked down a couple of rattled threes, right? They were long distance shots that got a shooter's touch for him. And then late in the game, just in attack mode, opening up there on the cut, getting the back door, driving in, finding his way to the free throw line 6 times in this game. Sorry, I think he got there 9 times. Yeah, he's 8 of 9 in this game. and grabbed the 7 rebounds, which helps from the guard position. When Garland and Dunn are in the game, you're not going to get much in terms of interior rebounding. Mathurin does help with that as well. So another 20-point plus performance for him coming off the bench for the Clips.
Yeah, that bench scoring with that second unit has just been fantastic with Ben Mathurin.
Great tonight and huge because the Knicks only got 14 total off of their bench. We mentioned at halftime they had zero. Yeah,
yes,
zero.
Yes. So the Clippers take it 126-118, the final. First game of a 5-game homestand ends in a W. We'll look ahead to Minnesota on Wednesday coming up when we come back with more Clippers Live postgame.
Warriors limited.
Clippers over the Knicks 126-118 here tonight, adding to a dome start of a 5-game homestand for the Clippers. Coming up after Clippers Live postgame, stay tuned for an all-new edition of Golic and Golic. They're bringing the heat with bold takes, big personalities, and some of the biggest names in sports. Here's a preview of what's in store tonight.
Coming up after post-game coverage in most regions, an encore edition of Golic and Golic. The first day of the NFL's legal tampering period was insane, and we tried to make sense of it with 2-time Super Bowl champion Phil Simms. And be sure to tune in Tuesday as we check in with ESPN's Holly Rowe as the WNBA reaches its deadline for a new CBA. It's Golic and Golic weekdays here on FanDuel Sports Network.
All right, Mike, looking forward to that. All right, Brent, so second stint of 5 games in 7 nights, but these all at home. It starts with a win over the Knicks tonight. Now we got the Minnesota Timberwolves coming in on Wednesday.
Yeah, wonderful opportunity to be at home, stay in your own bed, get some home-cooked meals, come back to the building that's familiar where the fans are rocking and super excited about drawing to 500. You know, the Timberwolves have an interesting stretch here. They have 4 games in 6 nights. The Timberwolves will be playing Wednesday, but Tuesday they'll be playing across town against the Lakers. So a back-to-back for Minnesota. That helps the Clippers. And the other part about it is there's a little revenge factor for that game.
Yeah.
You remember Minnesota played L.A. just a couple weeks ago. That game was an absolute hockey match. It was just checking people into the board. Nobody could score in that game. The offense was in airplane mode for both teams in that game, and Minnesota was able to pull that one off. So maybe a little bit of a revenge factor. Clippers playing well. We talked so much, Stan, about this 5-game homestand.
Yes.
And getting this first one was huge. We knew.
Big. Against a top 3 team in the East.
Right. The Minnesota game, huge because we know that these two teams don't play pretty basketball against one another. The games do get uglied up a bit. It'll be great Wednesday for them to come in and play with this kind of togetherness and this kind of balance against Minnesota.
Yep, got to deal with Anthony Edwards, who's playing at a very high level right now.
Yeah, and Minnesota, they had won 3 in a row, I believe, and then had a tough loss, did not score well in their last game, got beat pretty badly by Orlando. So they're coming in, again, on the back-to-back. Be a great matchup.
Absolutely. We'll deal with that on Wednesday. Tonight, we'll celebrate this when the Clippers get back to 500 at 32-32 with a 126-118 win over the Knicks. Total team effort once again, 5 Clippers in double figures. Kawhi Leonard leading the way with 29. Bennedict Mathurin 28 off the bench. Darius Garland with 23. And 16 apiece from Derrick Jones Jr. and Brook Lopez. Clippers knocked down 18 threes, including 6 in the fourth quarter to seal the win. For Brett Barry and our entire Clippers Live crew, Stan Verrett saying good night from Inglewood.